By default, Black Bag has become my favorite film of this year. And yes, I've only seen probably 6 or 7 2025 releases, but I do think this is going to stay near the top for several months. This is the latest film directed by Steven Soderbergh, and yes, if you're keeping track, this is his second film released within the past 2 months. Starring Michael Fassbender, Cate Blanchett, and a lot of other people you're going to recognize. So many people are calling this film, and specifically the script, slick, and I do have to agree with that term, and I don't know how else to describe it. This film is a tight 94 minutes, and every single moment of it is utilized to its best potential. It is both fast-paced, with every single moment full of plot, but it also takes its time in moments, being this very slow examination of people. And the combination of both those things give for one of the most satisfying theater experiences you're gonna have. I can't get too much into the specifics of the plot because part of the fun of this film is realizing what is going to happen. But basically, all these people work at this British intelligence agency, and Michael Fassbender is made aware that there are 5 people on this list that could be a mole. There's a lot of spy jargon being used, and there's not really any specific mission that is relevant to this plot, but all that you need to know is that there is a leak from their organization, and Michael Fassbender has to figure out who it is. And one of those people that it could be is his wife, played by the incredible Cate Blanchett, which is the perfect casting for this role, because you never quite know when she is being sincere or lying. And also great casting with Michael Fassbender, who plays this stoic human lie detector. So he is navigating all these conversations, trying to talk to these people, figuring out who is the liar. And from there it gets messy and complicated, and in the most smart and clever Steven Soderbergh way, this is a genius premise that I almost guarantee you will not predict the ending. But I think what makes this film special to me is that even beyond that clever, smart script, there's a great metaphor here for relational dynamics. Yes, Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett are married in this film, but even the other characters all have this complicated relationship to each other. Some of them are dating, some of them are just hooking up, some of them even have previous history with each other. And I think what this film does best is uses this occupation of essentially being a spy and takes a look at that and says, how does that work within a marriage? The term black bag is something they say to each other when they're not allowed to talk about their specific assignment. So for example, what country are you traveling today? Who are you going to spy on? They just respond black bag, and that signifies, hey, this is something, even though we're married, I cannot tell you. It's classified information. I think that is a very interesting concept to explore, especially within a marriage or any relationship really, but like, what are those things that you just cannot talk about as a couple? What is off limits? What are the boundaries? And what happens when someone takes advantage of that term, using it even further than it needs to be used? Will you choose your occupation or your spouse? Will you choose the quote-unquote right thing to do, or will you choose your spouse? And these are the questions that the characters in this film have to answer over and over and over again, really testing where their allegiance is and how much trust can you actually have in any relationship. It's absolutely brilliant once you break down the complexity of all these relationships. But if that sounds like too much, don't worry, because this is also just a really fun time. Even if you just choose to ignore all those deeper themes, I think the plot alone is exciting and intense. And despite these being spies that aren't going on traditional missions that we typically see in film, the mystery they are trying to solve is just as engaging and exciting, and I am begging everyone to go give this a movie a chance because I want to see it succeed and see more films like this being made. So those are some of my initial thoughts on the film Black Bag. If you have seen it, please let me know what you think. Comment below, and I will see you next time.